a bit of a different sort of feeling though. So obviously the last two cup competitions was that first round, so it's good to progress in this one. Early start again, did well, and then it slightly drifted in the first half, and that's where I think we need to work on in terms of believing in terms of what we're trying to do. And I said it before the game, certain games won't go our way, and maybe slightly competitive than we would like, but we still got to believe in sort of our passions of play and phases of play, and people need to kind of be a bit more, I don't know, a bit more versatile in terms of, okay, plan A is not working, but we know what plan B and plan C is, so implement that quicker, as opposed to sort of waiting until half time and doing it. And I think that's sort of like the last step of us sort of progressing as a team, I think, because sometimes I feel we go with a formation, we go with a plan. Sometimes if it's not working, we try and get it across to the pitch, but sometimes those sort of messages don't really work. So we just got to improve on that aspect. But look, the boys worked hard today. Were clinical when it mattered. Still could have made it a few more, but like I said, we just got to raise the bar a little bit. But we've got a lot of winnable games from now to the end of Christmas. So hopefully that's the start of a new run.
It's a bit of a cliche, but when you're 1-0 up, especially if you score early, it can affect individuals and a team's sort of mentality, and I think that slipped a little bit for us, because I think what you saw was after maybe 15-20 minutes we started to deviate from our game plan a bit, and then that allowed them back in, and that made it a bit of a sort of like a coin flip game, and eventually they grabbed a goal to level it up, when realistically I thought we had more than enough to sort of race away with the game, sort of go 2-0 up, 3-0 up, why not? We're a very good team, but we've just got to make sure that we're, like Geoff says, playing our patterns, and as well as that, make sure that we're taking our chances, because I thought we were very wasteful today.
Yeah.
So, I think you're right. It did affect us in a weird way. We sort of took our foot off the gas a little bit, maybe got a bit complacent, lost a little bit of focus, and that evened out the game a little bit. So that's something for us to reflect on.
Historically, we've always had sort of out and out sort of wingers, and we tend to sort of absolutely kill teams with our wide players. So I felt introducing sort of Lewis on natural winger on his side, Sully on the right side. All of a sudden, we made the pitch much bigger, and I don't think they were able to live with us. And that's sometimes that's the beauty of our squad. We've got options. We can play with inverted wingers. We can play with natural wingers. And then and then I think we was able to step it up a little bit. As I said, we've got him in at half time, and just look, we need to play a bit better, because reminiscent of similar games of the past, we're going at half time with a game in the balance, a wrong decision, or penalty or something, and then sort of the game is disrupted. So we need to make sure we're the better team. So as Jack said, we should have really buried it. 3-4-1 would have been sort of a good reflection of the game. But yeah, as I said, it was credit to sort of the players, and we've got Sully, Lewis, we've got really good players, Finn coming in there, coming on, and they're only going to get better. Reece again coming into that right back, did a great job. So we've got a lot of players coming in, and there was a few missing today as well. So we want to raise that bar in terms of competition, so so we can climb up the table and just get where we feel we deserve to be.
Reece playing at right back today isn't somewhere where he's typically played for us, but he's told us that that's where he can play, where he likes playing as well, and I think he did a very good job today against quite a competitive, combative front line, and I think he did very, very well, really held his own. Realistically, I think that whole back line's been very good for quite a while. A lot of the goals we concede are pretty much set pieces, if you look back over like the last 5-6 weeks. So that's credit to the defence. So Reece has slotted into that. We did that one change because we didn't want to disrupt it, 2 changes or more, and he did a very, very, very good job. So very pleased with that. Across the pitch, there's 1 or 2 players. Julian's first start this year, I believe, which is great to see. Like, he can rejoin the fold and start to compete as well. That puts pressure on other players to keep their standards high. Sully played very, very well. Really pleased with that. He's been easing into the squad. Quite a few performances off the bench. A really hard-working performance from him from the first minute till his stint ended. Got his reward as well, so it's really, really good. And the squad depth is there, and we just need to keep pushing each other to higher and higher standards.
I think we just got to start burying our chances when we're on top, especially first half, because you go in 2-0, 3-0 up, then the second half becomes a much more manageable game. But I feel we're sort of letting teams in, and we did a shooting drill in training, and I think we just got to do it over a few weeks and just sharpen up a bit, because we should, like I said, we should be burying these teams early doors, and then then it becomes a routine in terms of managing the game. So yeah, it's good to see, as I said, Greg getting on the score sheet. Sherwin's I don't know, probably maybe a month away. Lewis is back, so yeah, a lot of competition, and yeah, we want to do well. I mean, and I credit again, it does make a big difference, as I keep saying, when we play in front of a crowd, it's a credit to the people coming out. Weather's not great, but they showed we can hear the voice, and at 1-1, where the game's slightly in the balance, it doesn't really help. It does tip towards us. So so credit to everyone who turned up today, and yeah, we really go again.